the AlphaSmart and the AlphaSmart and the AlphaSmart. The AlphaSmart. And I personally believe that it is a wonderful thing to invest in your passion. Whatever that passion is, you should invest in it. You should invest your time in it. And if you have the money, or what money you do have, you need to figure out how to spend that money so that you can share your passion with others. So I am not one who believes that you only write on one writing tool. Okay? I think however the words come to you on any given day, that is what you should use. Today, that might be a MacBook. Tomorrow, that might be a Freewrite if you've got one. Another day, that might be one of the AlphaSmarts. Okay? However the words come to you, let them come that way. Sometimes none of these gadgets will work, and you will just need to pick up a pen and paper. We're going to talk about a digital paper solution in a future episode. In the last video, I discussed my love and adoration of this tool, the no distraction tool, the Freewrite. And what I said was, listen, you guys, I get it, okay? I have had the constrained budget. I know not everybody can afford the $550 writing tool. That's all that does is help you write. Okay, I get it. Everybody can't afford that. So, and I couldn't afford it always, which is why I actually own 3 AlphaSmarts. I was trying to get to the right solution, and it took a few experiments to get to the right solution, which for me, it's not for everybody, but for me, most of the time now is this. But sometimes it may be this, or maybe one of my other 2 AlphaSmarts, okay? So the key is to figure out what works for you and to have something available so that that thing that your go-to tool is not working for you on a particular day, that you can go pick up another tool, move. Don't get stuck in, I only can write this way. I hate it when writers talk about that. Oh, I can only write with a certain pen and this. So, sometimes you need to switch rooms. Sometimes you need to switch tools. And it's okay. You are not to be shamed for switching tools. I'll tell you what. I have 17 books now. I think I'm 18, working on 18 now. And it would not happen if I just worked on one tool. If I just forced myself to sit and constantly type on my MacBook, I would not have 17 books done. I have to be able to flow, I'm an Aquarian. I'm air. We need to flow. So wherever the words come, I flow to that. So sometimes it's my iPad. Sometimes it's my, whatever it is, embrace it. Go for it. So today I'm talking to you about much less expensive options for no distraction writing tools, okay? That help you do drafting, they help you brainstorm, and they help you write your chapters. All of these, you can get on eBay. Amazon used to sell them. Sometimes they may sell them, sometimes they don't. But they're definitely available on eBay. And most of them cost somewhere between $20 and $70, which compared to $550 for the Freewrite, obviously that's a huge, huge, huge difference in discount. And are you getting the same exact tool? Absolutely not. But what you're getting is a tool that, if with a little discipline on your part, and you really have to have the discipline to really treat it like a free write. So it was created by ex-Apple engineers, created the AlphaSmart. Okay, now it was created for schools, and the whole purpose of it was to help kids learn how to type. And then it was also sold as a writer solution. So the differences of the AlphaSmarts, okay? The differences. Now there's multiple, I have 3 of them. I think there's about 5 of them total, right? So of the 3 that I have, AlphaSmart 3000 is the oldest version of the AlphaSmart. Now this one, the difference between this one and the newer ones is really going to be mostly centered around, one, to me, the keys feel, these keys feel sticky, you know. They're less sticky, but the big thing is the storage. This holds fewer words, fewer pages. And so that's going to be the big difference if you get this one. You could pretty much use any of them to write any length of book. Let me start there. But if you want to save a lot of content on here, then this is not the one that you want to get. This is not a high capacity saving machine. You can only save within the files. You can only save a few pages, like 8 pages or something like that within each file. So the difference is how much you actually want to retain on this machine. The next one up is the Dana. Now, the difference, as you can see, is look at the size of the screen and look at my glasses. You see I'm blind, right? So the whole reason I started typing on this one, and I said, ooh, that's pretty. And it's got a big screen. I was fooled, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, so this one has 2 SD card slots on it. So it holds a lot more, but it's also got the Palm Pilot software in it. Now, I know a lot of millennials and Generation Z will not be familiar with the Palm Pilot. It's old technology. This is, it's a little outdated. However, it does have a writing function on it. And so that's, one of the reasons why I got it. It does have the writing function on it. It's pretty easy to get to once you do the first setup. So, bigger screen, you can change the font sizes. So that's one of the reasons why I moved up from here to here. But the thing is, the visibility was not great for me, and I still hated this keyboard. So, now I'm a keyboard snob. If you guys didn't know, I'm truly a keyboard snob. Then I landed with, if you can hear that, it's a little better. But this is the Neo2, which is the most current version before they discontinued the AlphaSmart line. I think the last one was created in 2013, or the last one was produced in 2013. Okay, but anyway, so this has more storage. Doesn't have the SD card slot, but it holds more actually in the memory. It's got, to me, a little bit of a typing experience, and the visibility is not bad, but we'll talk about that later as well. Now I'm going to do the similarities and the differences of the tools, and then you can decide for yourself. If you want the Freewrite, you go to getfreewrite.com and you get the Freewrite, or you can go to eBay now and you can get any versions of this. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm trying to wake myself up, man. It's early. And can I just give a quick shout out to content creators who do this like all the time. Make sure that you are liking and subscribing on, yes, my channel, but also anybody who you watch who's getting up doing this content. It is not easy. So the comparisons of the Freewrite to the AlphaSmarts, and in terms of what you're going to get out of it for your writing workflow. Okay, that's all I care about is getting words on pages. How easy is it? And how safe is it? Right? Pretty much is the big things. Power, getting it turned on. So you're sitting at home, you have this wonderful idea. I gotta get it out of my head. I gotta get it out of my head. Now, again, I'm the proponent of whatever tool works for you. The AlphaSmarts are awesome for this. So the first thing is power. All of them turn on almost instantly. You see that? Literally, you hit it, a couple seconds later, it's on. Hit the power button, it's on. You see that? That happens really, really fast. Like 2008. You see, comes on instantly, ready for you to type. Boom. You see that? I get my idea, I could jump right in. Simultaneous, like working files. On the AlphaSmart 3000, you see function keys, F keys, and it goes through from F1 to F8. So those are the files that you can work in. So you have 8 files that you can work in on the AlphaSmart 3000 at a time. For the Dana, F keys at the top, there's 8. So you have 8 files to work within, although in the Dana, you're going to get a little bit more storage space. Same with the Neo. You get F1 to F8. In this one, you get maximum storage space without the SD cards. Okay? So this is just the onboard memory. You're going to have more capacity in the Neo2. The Freewrite, you only have 3 files that you can work on simultaneously, whereas the AlphaSmarts actually allow you to work on more files. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to work on 8 simultaneous files? I say limit me, please, because if you give me the option for 8, I'm probably going to use them, and then my brain is going to be scattered all over the place. This makes you focus, right? So that's the whole purpose of it. Like squeezes you into this little space where you have to be productive. Saving. Critical, right? None of these has a save button. None of them. So you don't hit save. Great thing about them is you just start typing, and the minute you type, it is saved in the device. All of them have that feature. Like in terms of losing something that you're typing on, it's highly, highly unlikely that the loss will occur from you typing into the device. Losses may occur, but I'll talk about that later. From the AlphaSmart to the Freewrite, okay? All the same. Saving, you just type in it and it's saved. The next thing that's similar about them to me is that they're all pretty easy to carry. Like, look at the size of this thing, right? I mean, this is like a full keyboard. It's got memory. You know, you basically got a word processor in this little device, and you can pretty much throw this in your purse. So instead of having a notebook handy, you can have this handy and you could take it anywhere. The great thing is, even by government regulations, right, for those of you who work in government spaces where it's cleared, there's no internet connection to that. You could even take this. There's no Bluetooth. There's nothing on this. You could just type anywhere. So that's definitely something to consider, right? One thing I probably could not do with this, because it does have the cloud connection and the Wi-Fi. This does not have it. No Wi-Fi, no cloud, no nothing. It's just it. I've heard they did demonstrations where they actually drop kicked this and it's picked it up and it still worked. I believe that's possible. You could probably drop this on the sidewalk and pick it up and keep going. Like, it's that durable. I wouldn't be dropping my $500 Freewrite. Sorry, I wouldn't even try that test. But these are highly durable. Only holds about 8 files, about 25 pages each. Okay, so you have F1 through F8, and with each one, it holds about 25 pages. Now, if you think of a chapter as 250 words, right, as a page, and if you hold 25, 25 pages, that's probably going to be about 5 chapters per file, okay, which is not bad. I mean, when you have 8, you have 5 chapters per file, you could probably write a whole book on this. The AlphaSmart only holds 8 pages per file, right? So that's like, for me, that's about half a book, probably, that you can hold on at once. The Dana, I am actually not sure about the storage capacity, but I think because it has 2 SD card expansion slots, that you could probably actually hold a lot more on this device because you have the SD card expansion slot. But I think the onboard memory, is probably not much more than these, like if you don't have the SD cards. But I just happen to have 2 SD cards in mine. Unlimited capacity, pretty much. I don't think there's any limit to the capacity in any of the files, so you don't even have to worry about that. I think you could probably write an entire book in one file folder, separating out your chapters. So I won't do that, but I think you can. Okay, the next thing, fancy features. The Freewrite has 0 fancy features. Nothing fancy whatsoever. Okay, it is just a box to type on. It's a box with some files to type into and to type forward. But that's the beauty of the machine. Let me just start out with the Dana, right? The Dana has more features on it. Stuff, honestly, if you're in a writing workflow, doing the 3 things that I talked to you about, brainstorming, outlining, writing chapters, those are the things that are going to get you finished with your book. All these extra features that come on this Dana, there's a memo pad, there's a calculator, there's an address, but I mean, there's a bunch of crap on here because it's like the Palm Pilot was. You can look that up, but you don't need all those features. What you need is the typing feature, right? So, you get all that other stuff on here, but you don't need it and shouldn't use it. If you buy it, you buy it for the fact that, you like the typing experience, you need the bigger screen, etc., etc. Not because you have spell check. Okay? All right. It has a spell check inside of here. So basically, when you run the spell check, it just gives you options, letter options. I, ignore, E, edit. If you edit, you type in the change in this. There is no spell check in the Freewrite. Okay, so you do have that option in all of the AlphaSmarts. Okay, that's the big extra, in terms of fancy features. Some version of my phone is sitting next to me when I'm writing. One of these stripped down models of my phone that I only use for writing that doesn't have any distractions in it. I'll use that. And so if I need to look up something on the thesaurus or in the dictionary, I just pick up the phone and do it. I will not go through my document on any of these devices, including the Freewrite or my MacBook for that matter, or my iPad. I would use my phone. So, that's an option for you. You can use your phone. You don't need the spell check. The next feature is portability and build. Okay, I talked about this. All of these are built super well. The Freewrite is built like a freaking tank. Seriously. It is solid. This is metal construction. The bottom is some rubbery plastic thing, but I actually think that's a good thing. It doesn't scratch up your wood furniture and stuff the way maybe metal would. This is a tank. Seriously. And it's weighty. It's a little heavy. So it makes it a little less, you can't throw this in your bag. You can't throw this in your purse. But it does have this handy dandy handle that you can carry wherever you go. So you could do this. The other thing I don't like about this, well, not don't like, but would like to see, is if it had like a hard cover that actually fit over top of this, to protect the screen and the keys and everything like that. But fortunately for me, we're in the days of COVID and I ain't going nowhere. I'm going from upstairs to downstairs. So all I need is to lift this up by the handle. It's good. All right. Now, if I was going out, like maybe to Starbucks or something like that, and I did it often, and that's where I did my drafting, I might want to drop one of these in my bag and just go type, bring it back, and offload it. So, yeah. So in terms of portability, obviously, the AlphaSmarts are going to win that contest, hands down. It's just way more portable. You can throw it in your bag and go. Next, visibility and lighting. Now, the thing I love in terms of visibility and lighting, the thing I love about the Freewrite is that it's got backlighting. I can see this anywhere, even in my own bedroom. One side of my bedroom is kind of dark, and the other side is super well lit, right? I can write on either side of my bedroom. I could take this from either side and see exactly the same and not miss a beat. Not be concerned about whether I need to see or whether I need to try and move a lamp from one side to the other because I can't see. Okay. Any angle, I don't care what angle I hold it or whatever, I can see it, I can type it. I have a couple desks in my bedroom. Some of them sit flat. One of them sits flat. So if anything I sit on, it sits flat like this. And I can see perfectly. One angles, so it allows it to rock back and forth. And I can see perfectly, no matter what. That's the great thing about this tool. Not so much with the AlphaSmarts, right? I can tell you, if you're sitting with this flat and you're in the wrong light, you're going to struggle to see. Blind Betty here, I struggled with all of these in terms of visibility. You have to be in the right light. If you use these, my advice to you is to get one of those clip-on lights, book lights, that you could kind of clip onto one of the corners that will put direct light onto the screen so you can see. The Freewrite is an e-ink backlit screen. These are grayscale LCD screens. You can't see as well. It's just a fact of the matter. It's not a matter of contest. You just can't see as well. Some people will not be bothered by that. I have all kinds of vision issues. So for me, it's not worth the struggle, which is why I went from one tool to the other tool to the other tool. So what I will say is these two have no backlighting, and you will need the clip-on book light to make these work in different lighting situations. You absolutely have to have it, especially if you wear glasses and you have vision challenges. Okay. Now, what I will say about the Dana, which is kind of one of the reasons I bought it, the Dana is actually backlit. Could you see that? Now it's barely backlit, right? But it's backlit, but you can see the difference. You see that? It is barely backlit. So when I saw backlighting on it, I was like, ooh, this is my tool because it's got backlighting and I'll be able to see. And then I got it and I turned on the backlight and it went from meh to yeah. It was no major difference. And so this is why this was not as useful to me as I had hoped. Okay. But it does have backlighting. That may be enough for some people. And if it is, great for you. It was not enough for me. If you look at the backlighting between the Freewrite and the Dana, you will see the difference. And that's why I have this. You see my glasses. Blind Betty needs glasses and Freewrite e-ink with a bright backlit screen. The next thing the keyboard. No contest whatsoever for me. Now, are these, can you type on these? Absolutely. Can you be productive on these? Absolutely. I think, to me, the Neo, if you listen to that, to me, the Neo actually has the best typing experience. Like, if I was going to buy one again today, this is the one I would recommend for all around experience, all around visibility. You can even see that. You can see the visibility, and then you can see the typing experience is pretty good on this. So if I was going to recommend one, I would recommend you get a Neo2 with backlight. I mean, with a book light that attaches that you can clip on here. If you get that, you're probably gonna have the next best thing to a Freewrite. Seriously, nothing compares to this right here. I have my keyboards with my MX Cherry keys, and I even like this better than those. At least as well as those, if not better. Backup. Listen, the key to finishing your work is actually not losing it. Okay? You can't lose it. And what I will say is, I got a lot going on. I have a busy day. Most of my work days are between, when I'm at my busiest point. Sometimes I have 8-hour days and I get lucky. Sometimes I have 15, 16-hour days. Seriously. And then I finish and then I go write. Sometimes I just need to be able to write something, walk away, have access to it on my desktop or my laptop, and not worry about it. I don't want to have to worry about it. I don't want to have to worry about, moving it off a device and saving it into a document, and then saving that document and then printing it out. I mean, it's a lot. Now, I can tell you, in terms of backup, that is what makes the Freewrite. This is the big selling point with the Freewrite. It automatically saves your documents to the cloud. For me, all I have to do is hit the send button. It goes straight to my iPad. I can pull up the document on my iPad. I can cut and paste it into a document. But it's that easy. It's 3 steps as opposed to 6 or 7 steps. And with my busy schedule, when you work a 15 or 16-hour day, those extra minutes you have to spend in moving documents around makes a difference. Now, can it be done? Absolutely. If your budget does not, if your budget does not allow for a Freewrite, by all means, get the AlphaSmart. But what I'm telling you is, you better make sure that you have a very practiced routine for saving, uploading your documents to a desktop, and printing out. I printed out everything. Printing out or saving it as a PDF and sending it to yourself or something. But you want to make sure that you have that routine and that you do it regularly for every major change or for every major thing that you write. Seriously. I had my AlphaSmart, and it was one reason why I couldn't take my mind off the Freewrite, was I lost the entire outline for a book that I wrote on my Neo. Now, it was in here, okay? And so it was fine when I typed it. It saved in here the way it should. But one thing that is on all the AlphaSmarts is a clear file key. Now, in the Freewrite, there's no way to delete a file. It's in the cloud and you have to archive it. Even if you write gibberish samples, all the stuff that I was doing on the videos, that stuff is still in my cloud. And it's saved into 2 clouds. So if it's not in one cloud, it's going to be in the other cloud. So there's a double cloud saved, and it doesn't delete. You have to go and archive stuff. Okay? With this, you could accidentally, between hitting the find key and the home key, you could hit the clear file key. I don't know why they put this like right up here with all this stuff, but you could hit the clear file key and delete your whole file. So long story short, I had it in here. Thank goodness I had a good routine of every day going to, upload my document, save it. But what happened is somehow it didn't save in my Word, but I had printed it. And the problem with printing it is you can stick the papers anywhere and then you lose them and then you're lost. So, which is exactly what happened. I typed it on here. I uploaded it. I printed it out, lost the file off my computer, then accidentally hit the clear file. It was gone. I had nothing. Lost a whole outline for an entire book, a Christmas book that I had planned to put out 2 years ago. I lost it. So eventually, thank goodness, I found it. I actually found the outline itself. But the thing is, that's a real threat with the AlphaSmarts. And you can combat that threat by having a good routine where every day, if it were me, just saying, every day that I type something major on these files, if not today, the next day, first thing, I would plug it into the computer, or would save it in a document. You could save it in a Word file, you could save it in Scrivener, whatever you use, and then I would save it and make sure I had it in a couple of places. Like I would email it to myself. I would make sure it's on my, save it on your iCloud. For me, save it on my desktop, your iCloud, whatever. But make sure that you save it in multiple places so that you don't lose your content. That's a bigger threat on these than it is the Freewrite. I could say that. Download often, print often. That was a nightmare. Another thing that the AlphaSmarts have that the Freewrite does not have is arrow keys. So the AlphaSmart allows you to, move up and down, go backwards. So you know how I do my writing workflow on my Freewrite, where I open up a file in that morning and I will send it to myself and I will read where I was so I can get back into the flow of things. And I can get back into the flow, I read, and then I can pick up where I left off. With these, you don't have to do that, right? With these, you can arrow back. But then the problem is, you can arrow back. So instead of forcing you to move forward, you can go back, you can edit, you could do, it's not, you're going to have to do this. There's a home button here that will take you all the way back up to the top of the document. So, and then you can go back down. So there's a lot of ways to go backwards in this. And to me, that is where your discipline kicks in. You're going to have to use some discipline when it comes to using these devices so that you keep moving forward. Remember, forward motion. The point is to finish. The point is not to have a beautifully written document on the first draft. The point is to have a crappy first draft that you get finished so that you can go back and edit. It is not to continually go back and edit and rewrite and stuff and never finish. And that's what a lot of people, I can't tell you how many authors, when I used to do the book shows, will come up to me and say, Carla, can you tell me about how to get a book deal? And I would say, oh, yeah, what are you working on? And, oh, yeah, I'm working on this awesome book. It is so great. It's filled with this, and this. And I'm on chapter 3. Really? Dude, finish. First thing you got to do is finish the book. You can't sell chapter 3. You could sell a finished novel that has been edited. But you can't sell chapter 3. So if you stuck in chapter 3, going back and forth with the arrows, you are defeating the whole purpose. So don't let your no distraction device, you buy this because you say, I don't want no distraction. If you use the arrow keys and the home keys and you're going back and forth, just use your MacBook. Seriously, there's no purpose in this. But if you're gonna actually use it, have the discipline to stay away from the arrow keys and keep writing forward. That's where you really have to give yourself to this. And I will say that is where I don't have to work at that on this. It's not an effort. I don't have to work at making myself be disciplined. I don't have to put the energy into that with my Freewrite. And that is the difference. So a lot of people will talk about, oh, it's the same and I like it better. Honestly, I have them all. Okay? And I think they all serve their purpose in different ways. And I think you don't have to confine yourself to one. You could own them all. And you could use them all. And it's okay to do that. Okay? Nothing wrong with doing that, says the Gadget Queen. All right, so then the next thing is like a case, right? So there was actually, when these first came out, they had cases, I think. And if you go on eBay, there are a few offerings where they have the original case that goes with the Neo, right? But for the most part, honestly, you don't need it. You don't really have to worry about scratching the screen up. You don't have to worry about dropping this thing. This baby, they're durable. All of them are super durable. I would say the least durable one I would consider, like, I would be more careful with the Dana than the others. And that is just because, if you look at it, right, you can kind of see it's a little thinner, right? So it's not as quite as sturdy as its brethren, but the other two, if you get the one that I recommend, which is the Neo2, if you're gonna buy one, you're not gonna have to worry about anything. Now I can tell you right now, this comes with a $50 case. I wasn't buying that $50 case. I don't have my case in here. I bought a $17 case off of a felt $17 case for a, I want to say it was like a 17-inch laptop, the Amazon Basics. So it's the Amazon Basics felt case. It is $17. It fits this beautifully. It fits right inside. Fits perfectly. You get a little room on the sides. But guess what? That means you can carry a notebook or something else with it. But it fits perfectly. And if you wanted to, you could even make the handle stick out of the zipper at the top and carry it with the case on it. $17. I was not paying $50-some for that case. Sorry, Freewrite. But, I do... I'm a proponent of getting this device if if it's in your budget. But that case, I was not hardly paying $50 for that case. So I went and found that Amazon Basics, $17 for a 17-inch laptop. It's felt. If you look up all those things, you'll be able to find it on Amazon. Get it. It fits perfectly, and it actually gives you room for other stuff to put in your bag. Your pen, you could stick your phone in there. There's plenty of room for other stuff too. So that's what I would recommend. So again, the last big thing with any of these devices is workflow, right? How easy is it to turn on? They're all easy to turn on. They're all easy. Get a big idea, start writing. It's all saved. The big thing with the AlphaSmarts, though, they have USB ports. So what you have to do is hook this up to your USB, have a USB cable, which I don't have mine handy, but you just, stick it in the back of your desktop. And the way this works is basically it types, it like auto types every letter into a document, like you were typing it with your own hands, but it's auto typing it through this. So that's how that works. So there's no, whole document being moved from one place to the other like a file. It's not like that. No, you are hitting send and it's typing each word line for line until it's finished. And so sometimes that takes a little bit of time. You got to make sure you save. You got to make sure you save it in a couple of places. Okay. And you got to try and make sure you stay away from that clear file key so that you don't delete. But in terms of workflow, these all work great. The difference, again, with workflow is the arrow keys, and that the Freewrite forces you to move forward, whereas the AlphaSmarts allow you to go back and around. And okay, the other thing I should mention is in terms of battery, right? So in terms of battery, all the AlphaSmarts require 3 AA batteries. Okay, that's 700 hours. I think I've had the batteries in here for about a year, and I don't need new batteries yet. You can see it's still strong. Same with this one. The batteries last about over a year, given the time. I mean, they last a long time. I think I have energizers in these over a year. I still have no need to change my battery. But when you do change your battery, I will tell you, it does. I think you will lose everything on here. So you better make sure you save everything before you change your batteries. The Dana, because it does a lot more stuff and because it has the backlight, the battery I think only lasts about 25 hours. It's not even it's just slightly better than a laptop. In conclusion, I think the Freewrite obviously is a great option. And there's no shame in having a tight budget and needing a different kind of tool. You're wanting the same functionality in a much cheaper tool. Okay, I think the AlphaSmarts, with discipline and maybe a booklet, okay, the AlphaSmarts can definitely provide you with that option. With the Neo, you are going to have to put some more thought into it. This is not a tool that is just going to make it happen for you, okay? You have to put thought and discipline into keeping yourself from going backwards. You have to have a routine where you save constantly, download and save so you don't lose content. But if you can do that, this is going to work for you. So that's it for my comparison of the AlphaSmart and the Freewrite. Okay. Again, I think they're both great tools. I think they serve similar purposes. They are not exactly the same. And I think at the end of the day, there's room for both of them if your budget allows. But if your budget does not allow for the Freewrite, definitely, and you want that functionality, pick up the AlphaSmart. But just know you're going to have to put some effort into making this work the way it should in a no distraction, getting your first drafts done kind of way. Okay? If you like this video, if you like my content, if you like learning more about writing gadgets and how they can work for you and make your writing workflow flow, please like and subscribe. Leave comments below if you have questions about the tools or if I can answer any questions about any particular thing. I think in the next 2 videos, I'm going to cover 1, eliminating distractions with headphones, noise canceling headphones, and apps. Some of the apps that I use to help my focus go so that I can get my workflow. There are apps for that. Yes, I will tell you about those. And then we will get to the all important digital notebook. That is going to be fun. So I will be talking about my new Remarkable, and I think I will unbox my new Remarkable on this channel so that you could see my new Remarkable. All right, so that's going to do it for today. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.